Howdy everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to your weekly dose of chill here at the Ice House. Well, I know that this background is not really fooling anybody, because if you know anything about Texas and the amount of snow that we actually get during the year, you'll know that it's long gone and the heat is definitely on. But you know what? Here at the Ice House, we try to keep an ambiance of chill and cool, and we definitely make sure that our electricity bill is paid. So, while the doors that you can't see may open up to a hot, muggy, sweltering world, in here, we're keeping it cool, calm and collected. So, there's for me breaking the fourth wall like you know I would. So, there you have it. But now let's move on to today's currently scheduled program, right? So, last week we talked about the importance of customer service. And the interesting thing is after I had recorded and, posted this video up to go live on its usual time, well, and I will say that some of it was inspired by the earlier events of the week with Sony and, the things about the release of Stellar Blade, which I'm not going to go into because I'm not really trying to do a one-to-one everything, but there was a little frustration on that. And then only days later, after I recorded the video for last week, they came out with the whole thing about needing a PlayStation account and making a lot of people upset on Steam. And then also realizing that they had made it so, 160 something plus countries couldn't even access the game anymore if they put this limitation on it. So after about 2 or 3 days of customers getting upset, Steam saying that they would issue refunds, Sony backed off. And like I said, I don't like doing a one-to-one comparison ratio too often, but I would say that's a win for the consumer right there, right? I mean, there's a lot of other issues that I know a lot of other channels are talking about with Sony, and I mean, let's just face it, the gaming industry is, well, it's still going through a lot right now with the news of Microsoft laying off the people at Arcane and Austin, and I know there's other studios, but I'm not sure if they're in Texas, so I forgot the name of them. Please forgive me. But it's a big deal. So we're still going to see a lot of changes and hopefully some things for the better, right? And I wish all you guys who are trying to make good games and maybe feel like you were pigeonholed. See that bird reference? By the studios and all that stuff. I mean, hopefully you can still follow your hearts and passions, because that's what I believe in, right? That's what we believe in here at the Ice House. So, as Punkwaddle would say, cheers to you. So, that being said, one of the things that is kind of a good follow-up, and really part of the same equation about customer service, is really, and ask yourself this, right? Because I'm going to ask you this too. Is, as a customer, how do you want to be valued? Or what do you want your value to be from a company, right? And I understand that depending on the company and what you need from that company, that value can vary, right? If you say, hey, I need some ballpoint pens, you don't really need to be that important to the company who makes the ballpoint pens. You just need a product that works, right? That doesn't leak, that it writes well and doesn't smear and all this yada 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 stuff, right? So that's a pretty basic one. But when it comes to the entertainment, when it comes to bigger companies that you invest in and franchises that you've invested in, because of the value that they've created and the impact that they had around on pop culture, and sometimes even main culture, right? There's some stories that people grew up with, fictional stories written by great authors who understand the human experience, that those lessons and guiding principles were able to guide these people in how they understood the real world and how they carried themselves and how they made decisions in the real world, right? Well, we all know that. So, I think what I'm trying to say is, would you rather be appeased by a company or by a customer service person when you like, I don't want to pay for this, I should get a better deal, right? I'm not saying that everybody's running around being a Karen, but sometimes I think every now and then there's people who think that they've been with something long enough, or they don't need to pay the same amount that everybody else, or they deserve, or they've earned something because they've been with the company long enough, even though sometimes there's just shifts and things that, well, through things I don't understand, sometimes we can't always get the discounts. We can't always get all the cool stuff, right? So, I guess, would you rather be appeased every time that you throw a tantrum, or would you rather be able to have a conversation, right, with the people who you're spending money? Like, I understand if it's a big enough company that you can't just have a one-on-one conversation, but to me, if it's something that I want to invest in, I want to be heard. Like, say, for Gundam models, right? We've talked about how I've invested in all the, as the kids call, plastic crack. And, well, there's a lot of models that I like. There's definitely some that I wish were reissued, and some from different series that haven't had a model before. But, sometimes they make polls, and sometimes they try to figure out what versions of models that, their consumers, their fan base, the people who have been investing and buying for years, what models they would want to see, right? And sometimes we end up getting an updated version or a new version of a better tooled kit for the modern era, for kits we haven't actually seen before, or they had a really, really mediocre version from 20 years ago, right? So, that sort of thing of valuing the customer base so they actually get what they're looking for and will continue to invest money into the company, right? I don't know. I'd rather be able to have interactions, or believe that the company that I'm investing in is actually listening to the fans and wanting them to get the products they're interested in, right? Not just listening to the people on Twitter or the people who post and make big complaints and, oh, they get a discount because they complain so much, or they get a special deal because, blah, 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 blah. They explain their extenuating circumstances. I'd rather be investing in somebody who's fair and who's trying to appeal to the fans and appeal to the people that have been there forever, and the ones who are bringing in new fans because of all of the value created. And one of the best things about, well, loving a franchise, and what I've talked about even in my hot takes from the Ice House videos last year, which I need to get back to, is why we share the things we love, right? We share the things we love because we want other people to have the joy and participate with them as well, and be able to share in that fun. So, yeah, I'd rather have the experience of being valued than have to whine and complain just to get my way, because that's a lot of energy, and I don't have time for it, or the energy for it, because I can always just sit back and play Fortnite for free. Well, if you guys have any thoughts or comments, leave them down below, and like, subscribe, and whatnot if you'd like. Tell other people about this channel if you think we're cool enough. So, Other than that, till next time, we'll see you later. Bye!